What's up, everyone? Welcome to Mongols Pregame'n Edition. This is where we spend a few minutes chatting with the team prior to their next match. Joining me for this one is a player who, in his rookie season, already has a collection of USL Team of the Week and Player of the Match awards under his belt, as well as being instantly recognizable for having some of the best hair on the team. It's Bradley Sample. Brad, thanks for joining me, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
I got to ask you, there was an announcer in one of the most recent games that referred to your hair as lettuce. Have you ever heard your hair referred to as lettuce before?
I have actually. That for me, that's a huge compliment. I like to have the lettuce as I guess some of the people like to call it, growing out back there.
Nice. That's awesome. This is obviously first year with the team, first year as a pro. Has it been everything you hoped it would be?
I mean, it's been great to live out what I've dreamed since really since I started kicking a ball when I was 4 or 5 years old. Like always wanted to be a professional athlete, be a professional soccer player, and then to do it here, the guys have been great, the fans have been amazing, and like the city and all that. I think the results on the field, I would like to be going a little bit more our ways, but that comes with it. And then, but yeah, it's been awesome to live out this, to be able to play the game I love as a job. That's pretty cool.
Oh, for sure. If you could, you guys are sort of a big chunk of the way through the season, and we've talked to sort of rookies before. It feels like it's a big learning experience. If you could go back to the beginning of the season and give yourself one piece of advice, what do you think that would be?
For me, I think it would be to trust myself more, and
Mm,
just have a bit more confidence in myself. And I think a big part of the reason why I may have struggled with that was because I got hurt in preseason. I think I had a pretty good start to the preseason here. Like I thought I was playing well, I was gelling well, and then set out about a month or so, and then kind of coming back into it in the middle of the season, it was kind of like, all right, like I feel like I'm behind the pace a little bit and trying to get caught up, and then kind of just doubting or a little bit of self hesitation where it was just like they signed you here for a reason, like so kind of go and do that, be that, and that I think has helped me grow as the season's gone on and start to be able to have more of an impact and play more the way I think that I'm capable of.
oh, for sure. The team is full of characters, obviously. Is there anyone that's sort of taken you under their wing and sort of showed you the ropes in your first year?
Really, all the veteran guys have, to be honest. Like we've got arguably the best player in the league's history who plays the position that I play, with Kenny, and then DG being as good as he is, Robbie Mertz, and then someone that maybe I wouldn't have thought of necessarily, but Danny Rivera has been
Mm,
huge in that. He was really, really helpful at the start of the year with just trying to get adjusted and getting used to what's expected, what to do in training, things like that. And for me, he's been a big help in all that. Really, all the guys have, but for me, he was someone at the start of the year. I remember thinking like, wow, he's been really helpful.
yeah, Rovy's a great dude. You mentioned first year in Pittsburgh. What are your thoughts on the city? Any sort of favorite spots in your downtime?
I mean, I think the city's awesome. I really like I'm a big fan of rivers running through cities and the bridges, and that's just, I don't know, for me, that's something I find really cool. And I haven't been up there a whole lot, but the Mount Washington area, I've been up there, and I really like that overlook of the city at night when the lights are on and all that. And that, for me, that's been like the coolest spot for me to check out so far.
You mentioned sort of Mount Washington. That sort of segues into a question that I have for you. So on Instagram, you have a picture that I look at and it just sort of gives me chills. I'm going to throw it up here on the screen. Can you give us the backstory on this? So for those who are listening, it's you on the edge of a cliff, just like hanging out. Like what was going on here?
Yeah, so last summer I got the opportunity to play soccer in Canada, for a USL2 team called Thunder Bay Chill. So this is in Thunder Bay, and it's kind of a tourist destination for its hiking and stuff like that. And I had a pretty big fear of heights. So we went on this hike all day up to the top of this overlook basically, and basically it's just I guess a chasm right below me. And it was kinda like, "Alright, like, I'm up here, there's this ledge here, I'm gonna sit on it, I'm gonna get a cool picture, I'm gonna get over this fear of heights today." And I just sat there, saw the picture after, was like, "That's pretty cool," and thought I sent it to my mom. She was very, very not happy with me for that. But for me, that was something that was kinda like I was certainly stepping out of my comfort zone and trying to get over that fear of heights and being up there, and I mean, it worked. I looked over the edge of the cliff and I was like, "Alright, this is pretty scary, but I'm up here."
Dude, good for you, man. Like I look at that picture and like my hand just starts to shake. So like the fact that you were there sitting there, that's crazy. For those of you who haven't seen it, either go watch the video or go check out, Brad's Instagram because that's really really impressive. Um Back to the field. You've been deployed sort of both in holding and attacking midfielder this year. Which of those would you prefer to play?
I think I can be valuable in both those spots. For me, I don't necessarily have a preference on it. I think as my college career evolved, I started to become more of that holding defensive midfielder who kind of just ran the game, like in the possession standpoint, like the speed of play, like was kind of dictated by me and how fast I wanted it to be, which was different than how I had been used in academy. In academy, I was used more in this box to box attacking role, involved in the attack. And since being here, I think I've started to find that bit of, like you mentioned, being more in the attack, and I do think that I can um, offer a good bit of support in the attack, whether it's playing a final pass or trying to take a shot and finish it. So for me, I don't necessarily have a preference in that, but I do feel that I can bring that sort of extra bit of attacking support, which I would say maybe I'm more maybe best in a box to box, but just because I got almost pigeonholed into the defensive midfielder role at college because I was good defensively, and then it became,
Mhm.
"All right, I'll be in that spot," which I felt like I missed out on some of the other parts of my game that I think I'm good at.
This isn't a question, but, like, you do have some crazy good shots. Like, and sort of looking back through, you don't have a goal yet this season, I don't believe,
Nope.
but you're probably the one player that if you said that, people would go, "What?" Because you've had some crazy volleys and, like, you got a good shot, man. It's coming. So, yeah.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
You go you didn't get a goal this weekend, but you did get an assist on Suber's goal. It was a really well taken set piece. Was that something that you guys worked on, or was that more of a, like, "I'm just gonna throw it up there and make them go get it" kinda thing?
At that point in the game, I was kind of I was just thinking, "I'm gonna try and put this in as dangerous scenario as I can, and hopefully one of them can get up there and make a play on it," and I mean, I watched it back. He wasn't really necessarily that open. He went up and he won that
Right.
thing. So that was really, in my mind, I was just saying, all right, beat the first man, put it in a dangerous area. Hopefully something can happen.
When you guys are in sort of a game situation like that, I'm just curious, is that something where you guys talk in advance, like who is going to be taking those kind of things? Or were you just like, I'm gonna put the ball down and I'm gonna do it. I'm the one taking it.
Yeah, honestly, I thought Kenny was going to run across the field and take it. He looked at me. He's like, no, like you go take it. It's like, all right, I'll take it. Like, I know I can hit a good ball. I'll go take it. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, that's a pretty ringing endorsement when Kenny's like, you got this. So that's
Yeah.
awesome. Good for you,
Yeah.
man. Um, Talking a little bit about this upcoming weekend, Birmingham is a team that the Hounds have some history with, especially in the playoffs. We haven't seen them yet this season. We will see them for a second time in a few weeks. Any thoughts on them as a team, and how are you guys feeling as you sort of get ready to head out there on Saturday?
Yeah, I mean, they're a good team, obviously. I mean, especially at this point in the season, no game is going to be taken for granted. It's going to be a hard matchup going to their place. I think it'll be a little bit warmer than it's been here in Pittsburgh this week. Not I think it will for sure.
Yeah,
Um, but they're a good team, and then the good thing is we get to play them twice. So hopefully we can't even worry about the second one until we take care of this weekend, and that's kinda how I'm looking at every game for the rest of the season is it's not a 9-game season right now, it's a one-game season each week that we get to step on the field, so we've gotta take care of business this weekend before we can even start to look ahead to those next games.
yeah, no doubt. Brad, I really appreciate the time. Want to get you out of here. Thanks again for joining me. Best of luck at Birmingham this weekend. Here's hoping for a big 6-point swing on Saturday.
Yep, thank you, appreciate it.